Hello, Taurus, fellow Taurians. It's me, Brandy, from Taurean.com. All you gotta do is put that in search engine. Really, you're gonna find multiple things, but my site's Taurean.com. We're gonna start this out for, I guess we would call this the eclipse reading, right? Uh, well, there's something about a vulture. So, the Grim Reaper, the vulture. I know we have been in transition for a very long time. To end out a lot of things to regenerate ourselves, right? And it's more like, what are you done with? You know, what have you completed? And Spirit is forcing, literally, even though you're trying to escape it or make excuses for it. And I'm going to have to think about this myself because this is a general. Because this is more about letting things burn in the background. Literally, it's almost like a bedroom scene, I guess, what I'm getting. By the way, I'm a shadow worker and a spiritual mirror, but I do channelings and stuff like that, and most of the time I do that and then tarot, but right now I'm focusing on this. Like rest, sleeping. And somehow in those dreams, you're getting pieces, or during this downtime, you're getting pieces being directed. It's not so obvious, okay? I can tell you that. It's really not obvious. And from that, it literally springs over into this rainbow of energy being returned. That's the gist of it. More bad things I think we have told ourselves about finances. I mean, in all reality, it's like, what is done, that is done, and what are we supposed to work on now? And the more we keep fighting that and dragging our feet, and maybe, whatever, we could be sick. Okay, I can't get over like this spider bite that triggered a lot of issues along with a broken foot. And that's my own doing, and I do homeopathic stuff. But sometimes we let it get too far, and I don't take my own advice. And everyone does that, right? Until we're forced to start taking our own advice. And taking my own advice, I've gotten better. Still on the mend, though, because I didn't start taking my own advice out of this 6-month venture until about a month and a half ago. So that's just how it is, right? Let me know if you get what I'm laying down here. Like, have you been through that? But do you know where you're going or what you need to do that you have been putting off because you have somehow made this codependent energy, and there's a lot of unknown territory that has to be explored, but not embracing the change or starting the process, and things just keep dissolving and being forced out, which is why I'm getting the vulture. Now, I've seen a lot of vultures lately, but I am in the country. You know what I mean? It's things die to feed other things. If you are dealing with the death of someone, I am sorry. I know it's probably not comforting, and I've even gotten, so many dreams about my stepfather being killed, the man who actually raised me. Something had to happen in those regards to have me stop running from my abilities that I was always told not to use. It was the devil's work. Well, here we are. That transpired this. It was a great pain, and I never really thought it would be, but it was. Okay? I've been through a lot of death. But that gave the threshold, into that. And I do shouldn't say talk with people who have passed over. I do walk in limbo, and I do meditate, and that is $200 on my site. And it's like a 20 to 30 minute session of meditation like this, but me tapping into them way prior to me going and hitting record. Because it's dangerous for me, and it will drain me for the rest of the day. Okay, it's signs, symbols, smells that you do have to connect. So keep that in mind, friends, when you book it. It's all in the description. But moving on. This is to bring a new level of awareness of what you're supposed to do. It's just like one foot in front of the other. You just have to have the energy to work through it. You know, something about connecting to your ancestors from where they came. So maybe going to their burial spot. You know, are you open to their guidance? Are you fighting the inevitable? Like they've been nudging you maybe in your dreams. You've been avoiding all of this out of fear because grief is just too overwhelming. And that could be grief of something that's already living or a job. But it is a process. And you just, it's a cleansing thing, but you're fighting. And that's why I keep getting the resting and letting everything burn in the background. If it burns, it burns. Okay. I just got like anxiety in my chest from that. Because I think it's like you think you have to save the world. You have to support everyone. And it's not. It's like your lineage is trying to connect you to your inspiration. Sorry if you hear the traffic. Even though I'm in the middle of nowhere, there's people like to drive by the witch's house. Okay. But they are trying to connect you with someone who's passed over. Okay. There isn't really women showing up for me. It's mostly men. They're trying to show you like a portal to listen to the silence, to hear what's like gone. There's a legacy. It's like you have work to do. But you need to respect yourself like first, okay? I do just keep getting this burning, and it's brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter and brighter. And I will say there are like mystic forces here. And I know people are like, oh, hosh posh. Well, I mean, you're here for some reason, right? You're to have rest. The rest is supposed to influence you. You know, that advice, you're not supposed to be dealing with social media or, you know, social constructs right now, or it's whatever. You got to contemplate your life where you can take advantage of these opportunities that whoever passed over for you is trying to show you. Okay? Hard work. Too much on your plate. You need to recharge. Too many other people's responsibilities, and you've lost every bit of enthusiasm that you once started with, folks. And this is like you have to return back to your own little patch of garden and start working it. Right? Now's the time to start working it and planting it and doing the rows and, you know, all that crap. So this is about coming back to intimate connections with yourself. A healthy, solid sense of self-commune. Spirit self. You know? It's like there's too many smoke and mirrors around you. And you've maybe had these false connections that have entered your life. Again, everything's for a reason, though. You know? It's a genuine foundation you're supposed to build your life upon right now. Different version. Different version. And it's definitely going with the flow and stop fighting that current. Right? Someone out there, you are definitely supposed to take nature and learn that. Maybe you thought you had enough of that knowledge. You have not. That's why nothing's kind of turning out. You have to keep going. And then you can. Because it's the limitations that's been your blind spots. Right? Mr. Odin's joining me. Because there's been a lot of distractions, a lot of shadows. And I keep getting the shadow turning into the fire. Oh, I hope he didn't disrect that. He did not. This is about your feelings, your behaviors, your compulsions, where you're trying to hide or deny them. And they're definitely coming out. Okay, and those false connections and those people that are deceiving or, you know, whatever. I keep getting the word perversion. Perversion. You may have known that, though. Maybe you're their perversion. It's they're less than good, okay? But you become so overburdened and injured I mean, this is an overburdened and injured energy. Injured energy. And you will not win if you keep fighting. You will not win if you keep fighting this need to stop. The world will keep spinning. Okay? You need to take a minute, Taurus. This eclipse, okay? And this eclipse, it's not going to be miraculous when it happens. It's going to be a small trickle effect for the next, like, 40 days. Okay? Trickle effect for the next 40 days. For you to deal with essential information from yourself that you can no longer ignore. And give yourself the compassion, the appropriate action for yourself. And it's not everything in a day. Rome was not built in a day. Okay? But you do need to listen to the darkness that comes out instead of hate it or hide from it. You need to integrate, you know, them in a healthy, freeing aspect. Emphasize, you know, what the shadow is so you can turn it into a light, into a healthy, pure portion. And, you know, reach out to support from other people, professional healers, mentors, guides, whatever you need to do. And start doing the self-exploration again as a priority. Okay? You have to tend to your garden first, folks, so that shadow can be illuminated for the good and where you've, you know, mistakenly buried certain things that were your strengths that are actually your blessings. Okay? That's when your emotional energy returns. You cut the cords from those deceivers, from those people that overburdened you and thought this was your fight, and it's not. It is not your fight. I tell you that right now. And you may get lonely. Okay. That's how you find out what you need to do for yourself, right? It doesn't last very long. It doesn't last very long at all, but if you keep fighting it, they're going to keep making it where you're just too tired to deal with anyone until you realize that. I promise you. All right, I will catch you later.